After an entire day of traveling, I finally made it to the Big Island, Kona, Hawaii. Now I'm here on behalf of Hoka One One, the official footwear sponsor of Ironman World Championship. This is my first time in Hawaii, so I'm gonna try to soak in as much Hawaiian culture as I can. I'm also here to learn more about these triathletes and how they push their bodies to the extreme. We're gonna try to capture as much as possible. All right, a little bit of context. On race day, this will be the starting point. They'll be going out in waves. We got the pros and then the age groupers. Bam.
Touchdown.
All right, so we just picked up our race day credentials. I want you guys to take a look at this map though. Starting off the 2.4 mile swim. You got the pros going first. They'll swim all the way down, wrap around this boat, and swim back. And that's when they enter the T1 zone, where they'll switch onto the bikes. Moving on from the bikes, they'll start down here. They'll bike all the way up, loop back around, and come back. There's a lot of game changers here. The elevation change is crazy, as you can see. Once it hits 52.5 miles, that elevation, I don't even want to think about it. But after they're done with this, they'll move on to the running portion, where they'll complete a complete marathon, 26.2 miles. Shout out to all the participants that will be racing on Saturday. It's tough.
This will be my 5th year racing here as a professionally, and I've raced here as an age grouper twice.
My question is, what is your strategy for this Saturday?
My strategy? Well, I don't have much of a strategy in the swim, just to get out of the water as quickly as possible, and then kind of work my way through on the bike. That's one of my stronger disciplines for sure. So work my way up, hopefully towards the front of the field there, and then just execute a solid run. The run is probably my biggest strength. So just to pace that correctly, fuel correctly on the bike to be able to have a good marathon. That's the goal.
I think the main thing is just to be calm, cool, calm and collected, and patient. Over the years, obviously my race strategy is a little different to Tim's in that I'm not a great swimmer. I'm typically sort of hunting people down, and so mine's always just about keeping your head and being patient and pushing all the way to the finish line.
You learn the most from the races here that you've done poorly, and I have more experience in that than Rini does, so I probably have more lessons I've learned here. But I think patience is really important. For me, it's very strategic. I have to play my cards right throughout the day. I have to, make sure I'm in the right spot on the swim, and then, make sure I'm in the front of that front group on the bike. So, the race is very dynamic. There's a lot of things going on, and you can't always do your own race. So you have to be ready and willing to take chances.
Every race is different, so yeah, you certainly have to plan for what the race brings. So for instance, a cold race, yeah, when you get out of freezing cold water, where you're wearing a wetsuit and you're cold and you're coming from ice cold water to land, it's like, yeah, do you take the extra 30 seconds to pull on arm warmers for the bike or gloves to help you in the next leg of the race, or not? Those are the choices you have to make here. It's super hot, so you're coming from kind of hot water. Do you take that extra time to rinse off and transition, get the salt water off so that you're not like chafing when you get out on the bike? So just decisions like that of where you're going to lose maybe 10, 15, 20 seconds, but is that going to benefit you more during the race? So it's really more a race-to-race decision on those sorts of things.
When it gets to the run, you start to internalize the race, and that's where you have to be true to yourself and have a talk with yourself and see how much you want to hurt.
Yeah, and when you say rivalry, I kind of go back to the Chrissy Wellington days and the Julie Dibbins days, and professional women triathlete of the past. I definitely had some good rivalries back then.
For me, it's about beating the Germans. The Germans have been dominating here for the last 5 years. So it's time to change the flag on top of the podium.
I do more carbo loading, I guess, or just more food in general on Thursday, and then Friday it's more just keeping the tank filled but not overdoing it. But you don't want to have like a lot of fiber, like so salad or greens or vegetables, just because you don't want to have any bathroom issues on race day. So it's just, yeah, a lot of like toast and peanut butter, just rice and chicken, baked potatoes.
In terms of rules for a triathlon, I think the biggest thing is usually on the bike. That's where you have most of your infractions, and drafting is a really big one. It's 12 meters spacing between the competitors, so if you go into that what we call the draft zone, that'll be a 4-minute penalty. And 5 minutes.
Yeah, littering. Yeah, don't discard any wrappers on the course. That also is a 5-minute penalty. You know, we get to race in beautiful places, and we want to keep those areas clean. So that also is a penalty if you purposely throw trash anywhere on the course.
All right, we're currently in the Ironman Village, specifically the Hoka booth, where some of these athletes are getting prepped for their race day kit. There's also some other booths here where we get a behind-the-scenes look at what some of the pros are using, from nutrition to even the bikes. They got it all.
Just like, look at how aero it is. Like, it's the way it's like designed.
Can we get a price point on this?
Yeah, a lot.
Bam! Whoa! Holy smokes! It's currently 5 a.m. in the morning. Today is the day. We have athletes from all around the world here competing for the Ironman World Championship. You can feel the tension, the anxiousness from all the athletes. They're probably some of the most hardcore athletes in the world. I say hardcore because you have to be mentally prepared to push your body to the limit. So we'll be here at 5 a.m. until the end, around midnight. After the athletes are done with their 2.4-mile swim, they enter transition number 1, where they jump on their bikes for a 112-mile bike ride. There's a lot of unknown factors that can happen. We had a mishap with one of the athletes, as I believe her bike chain fell off, and spent a couple minutes putting it back together. Hopefully she can catch up with the rest of the pack. But the energy here is insane. Shout out to all the friends and family that came out to show love. You even got people on the rooftops right now cheering. It's madness.
Nobody else, nobody else, nobody else.
So I mentioned earlier that there are different tiers. There are the pros, and then there are groups that are broken up into different age brackets. Young athletes from 18 ranging all the way to 86. Some of these people are out here doing it for charities. Some of these people are doing it out here for family members who can't. It's amazing.
Ironman World Champion from Germany, and a new heart record.
We just saw the top 3 men, as well as the top 3 women finish. There's going to be a lot more athletes crossing the finish line. The energy here is incredible, very supportive, friends and family showing out. We're going to jump cut to later on tonight where they cap it off. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go. As the Ironman World Championship comes to a close, it's awesome seeing all these different strangers cross that finish line. To see a 71-year-old finish a triathlon is very inspiring. Even to see a first timer push their body to exhaustion, it makes you want to cheer harder. You want to give your energy to them, and that's truly a humbling experience. I want to give a big thank you to Hoka One One. With that being said, I want to sign off from Hawaii, and to those who made it to the end of the video, mahalo, and I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.